Hey Soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading, we're taking a look at your powerful trait that is destined to conquer or overcome your weakest. So, can't wait to get into your reading today. I will be pulling out 3 tarot cards from this deck. If you prefer to, looks like this one moved. If you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, or if you even prefer for spirit to pick your pile for you today, these are definitely options that we have, and you will find the timestamps for them down in the description box, which will take you straight to the part of the introduction where you can do that. But let's take a look at your cards and what we have for today's reading. Actually, let's place them down just a little bit so we have space for the crystals. Right, so for pile number 1, you've got the 5 of Wands. Ooh, okay. For pile number 2, you've got the Knight of Swords. My goodness, talk about power. Okay. And for pile number 3, you've got the 2 of Wands. Ooh. Okay. Let me pull out some crystals. And today I did something a bit daring, but I wanted to have a little bit of fun with you. I took out my crystals and I put it in a pouch so that you can have fun with me to do this exercise. And I want to be really careful because I don't want the crystals to scratch each other. But I wanted to do this process with you because why not have a little bit of fun together? It's one of my favorite processes when I do your reading. So let's do it together. We have some options here for this one. And there's a lot of red here, so that could be an option. There's yellow and red, so the Mookaite Jasper. There's another Mookaite Jasper. It could be another option. We have to be very careful here. That could be an option. Ah, I found it. There we go. I think this would be much better suited, wouldn't it? Okay, let's keep that here. And for the middle one, what are we looking for? Well, I think we have also a lot of reds. We don't want to repeat. But we have some sort of like whitish beigey color there. Nude beige, which the Rhodolite could really be a good option. Where is our beautiful Rhodolite? Let's see. Have you guys learned how these crystals are by heart now? We've been using them for years. I always tell, I said it once. I think, the wonderful thing about crystals and nature, you can connect, like several people can connect. Although some disagree with that. Ooh, look at that, the rhodolite. Not the rhodochrosite. Is this the rhodochrosite or rhodonite? I think it's the rhodonite. It could be the rhodochrosite. I'll check in a moment. But I think that's perfect here. Great. Yeah, I feel like several people, and they will get the same value. Tell me what you think of energy. Like we can all connect to a tree, for example. So yeah, that's my opinion when it comes to crystals. I believe it is what it is. These work mostly for the channel, and so a lot of people have already connected with these crystals, and I believe they are getting wonderful energy from them. That's my belief. It's going to be a headache to put these back in their place, but I loved and enjoyed this process with you guys today. Tell me if you've enjoyed it. We can do it more often. And yeah, let me introduce the crystals to you. Right, so your crystal is the beautiful Mookaite Jasper. Let me check. I'm pretty sure the next one is the Rhodochrosite. I don't want to give you any wrong information, but I'm pretty sure this is the Rhodochrosite, not the Rhodonite. I'll be back. Yes, it is the Rhodochrosite. And for pile number 3, you've got the Bumblebee Jasper. So take a look which one of these 3 piles you're the most drawn to, and this will be the pile for you here today. As always, in case you feel drawn to more than one pile, maybe even all of the piles, trust your intuition. It's meant to take you to the readings you're meant to hear. Perhaps you have different types of strength that'll help you overcome either the same weakness, or several weaknesses. These are your strong points that will really help you become a much stronger and more integrated version of yourself. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And please note that in a moment, I will be assigning different zodiac signs to each pile. If this is something that you do not prefer, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. Right, if you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, then my dear soul family, welcome. This part of the introduction has been created specifically for you. And as you can see in a moment, after the shuffling, I will be drawing out 4 signs for each pile. Whoa, we've got 2 right away. What's going on these days? There's like this big energy. All right, so pile number 1, we've got Taurus. Let me pick up the other one. The other one is Gemini. I would highly recommend you check out the first pile if you have Gemini or Taurus in your chart. Somewhere in your chart, it seems like it is your pile today. But let's continue and pull out the rest. Okay. So pile number 1 again, Taurus, Gemini, Sagittarius, as well as Libra. Pile number 2, your signs are going to be Scorpio, Virgo, Pisces. Oh, I missed a sign here, as well as Leo. And the signs for pile number 3 are Aquarius, Capricorn, Aries, as well as Cancer. Okay. So, my dear soul family, these are the zodiac signs and their association to each of the piles in today's reading. Please feel free to pick your pile or piles using your sun, moon, or rising. I highly recommend you check out the 3. Alternatively, if you prefer to pick your pile or piles using any other placement in your chart, please feel free to do that. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And also, please note that in the next section, Spirit will be picking your pile for you. If this is something that you are interested in, please stick around. If not, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. But if you prefer for Spirit to pick your pile in today's reading, welcome. This section has been created specifically for you so that you can do just that. And as you may know, I simply assign a different tarot card to each pile based on the numerology of the major arcana. And so the Magician will be presenting pile number 1, the High Priestess pile number 2, the Empress pile number 3. And I simply shuffle them around until I miss pulling out a card or passing on a card to the other side. So, what is a powerful trait about you that is destined to overcome your weakest? We're still going strong. I'm getting used to it. Very good. So, your chosen pile for today's reading is pile number 3. Okay, so my dear soul family, these were the different ways in which you can pick your pile in today's reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed them and that you found them assisting you to find the pile that you're meant to hear in today's reading. I don't know why I like went so robotic here. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this part of the reading, the pick a pile, and that you found it enjoyable. Once you're ready, you know the drill. You'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your timestamps, and I will see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at a powerful trait about you that is destined to overcome your weakest. And these are the decks that I'll be using in your reading today. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. I'm sorry about the crackling sounds in the background. It's a bit windy today, so please don't mind that. But yeah, very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Mookaite Jasper. Your significator card is the 5 of Wands. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Taurus, Gemini, Sagittarius, as well as Libra. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. What I'm planning to do is using the Invisible Tarot. I will be layering some cards to find out first what is your strongest trait, your powerful trait, and what is the weakest. And in this way, we get to understand a little bit about the energy of the reading, and then we'll look at the rest of the reading, the rest of the cards, to explore how this whole process is going to happen. So that's the plan for today. Let's pull out your invisible cards first. The layering will really help us see both. So what is your most powerful trait? My dear pile number 1, what is your most powerful trait? I'm thinking of shuffling and then taking it from the top. First 4 on the top, and then followed by the next 4 cards on the... Oh, well, the plan has just changed. Spirit's plan has just changed. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like we have 2. I'm just going to trust the process because look at that. That could be the energy in between, you know. So let's keep that here. Changes, changes, changes. Spirit always has a plan. Okay, so what do we have here? Your strongest trait. You've got, ooh, Ace of Swords. You must be very intelligent, highly alert, highly awoken. Yeah, you see things with clarity. Anyways, we'll talk about this in a moment. 3 of Pentacles. Oh, sorry, this is the, 3. It is a 3. It is a 3 of Pentacles. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. You could be social or something, or you work well with others or something. Or enlightening others. 3 of Pentacles is enlightening, following the theme of the swords. You have the ability to enlighten others. Chariot. I have a feeling, it's just an instinctive feeling looking at the Chariot and the enlightenment, that one day you'll be making a big move or a movement to enlighten others, just so you know it's there. And finally, ooh, you've got the Star card. One day you're going to be shining like a bright star and enlightening others. That's definitely there. I truly see that in your cards here. All right. You're going to also be very popular one day. You're going to be known, shining bright. Okay, so your strong trait. Weakest. Two of Swords. Now, something about your weakest trait is that you are not able to see it just yet. Perhaps you feel the effect of it, but you still haven't put your finger on what exactly it is. And I hope today's reading helps you out with that. And these are just 3 cards. Oh, we were supposed to pull out. What is this? Okay, we'll take that, I guess. So, Two of Swords, you don't have your finger on it. You feel its effect, but you don't know what it is. And it's blocking you from a lot of things. Five of Wands, my God, is challenging you a lot. So, in the same position, it is it's blocking your power. You can't see it, but although you can't see it, it is the cause of a lot of the struggles and the challenges, especially internally, that you are going through. And then, that wasn't me. That's just completely new. I'm sad. Anyways, doesn't matter. The whole thing is just transparent and you can barely see anything really because all of them are just like, at the end of the day, give this dark color as you're shuffling anywhere. So we're good. 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. I feel something like it's been slowly corrupting, or you're slowly growing from it. We don't know. But there's something about slow here. It could be slow manifestation. It could be slowly growing, slowly decreasing. We'll find out. Page of Cups. It's in your, since childhood. But your inner child, funny enough, has the cure. So not only is your strongest trait going to overcome this, your inner child as well is going to help you with this. And it's good because I did intuitively pick up today for you guys the inner child deck. Lovely. And that will be perfect for especially you, my dear pile number 1. Okay, so let's analyze. I feel like there's something about love here. Let's keep it right in the middle. It's funny how it falls right in the middle. This King of Cups. Ooh, very interesting. Now let's look at our overall picture, starting by the weakest first, which we didn't analyze properly yet. What's your weakest trait? And it's interesting how you got the Page of Cups and the King of Cups. Handing. Oh, it's like your strongest trait, your strongest trait will be healing this, but also your inner child. Inner child healing could be like you being involved in something fun. The more you're in touch with something that excites you and that you enjoy, the more you'll be healing this, as well as the efforts of your strongest traits that will help you. So what is your weakest trait that's really challenging you that you can't see? I see this particular 7 of Pentacles juggling things. I feel like I need maybe a pen that can help me point things. Okay, well, I'll get it later. Do I have anything here that can help? No, not now. Anyways, I feel like there's a bit of juggling here. So, off balance maybe? Oh, something about it's slowing you down, this weakness. It slows you down because it makes you conscious of many things at the same time. Something here is not running automatically. Yes, of course, your shadow here is running automatically, but because of this shadow, it makes you so conscious, and so things are slow because you juggle many things at the same time. This actually makes me think of what things that make you conscious, like perhaps you're very self-conscious, yeah, and so things that could otherwise be running automatically for you make it slow because you're self-conscious. A good example of that is kind of like, let's say, and I'm not saying this is you, of course, I'm just giving you an example. So maybe someone would, if they need something from the supermarket, they can just go pick it up, pay for it, go back home. Someone else would be so self-conscious that the whole process that could take 3 minutes um, would take such a long time because they're apologizing, they are feeling uncomfortable, maybe they pick up something, a lot of things drop. And the reason for that is you're not allowing your strongest trait, your intelligence, to handle it, but you're so focused on it that it's not running smooth. Or you would of course open the door easily usually, but now that people are watching, maybe you're shaking and you open it, it's not opening. It doesn't have to be that. Other things could be, oh, maybe you're self-conscious about, I wouldn't say your intelligence. That's there. Okay, so that's not a good example. Hold on, let me think of other examples. Self-conscious could be maybe you don't know how to do something in particular, and that's not an example. That's what we're going for here. There is something in your life that you are self-conscious about because you feel you can't do well, and for this reason, whenever you try to do it, you become too self-conscious, and what could pass by very quickly becomes a very slow process. You lose balance because you're handling so many things at the same time. I actually have a very good example that just hit me. You know how the difference when you're learning how to drive and when you do learn how to drive, all of this becomes unconscious, and so you drive very well. You're not even thinking about it anymore because you've moved it from the conscious that has to think about everything, the wheels, the gear, the rear mirror, the two mirrors on the side, the people and the cars on the street, the rules, following the rules, the pedals, everything. When you're first learning how to drive and you're like, how can I manage all of these things at the same time? And that's the state you are in right now. And you probably feel that whatever it is you're self-conscious about is super complicated because you are running it from the conscious and not from the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind here is blocked from it. It's kind of like, that's painful, we're not taking it in or something. um, and then when you learn how to drive, you're not even thinking about any of these things anymore. They're a thing of the past. You get into your car and you're free to think about so many other things. Not that you should, but that's what happens. If you want to let your mind think about other things, yeah, what am I gonna do when I go to work? How can I solve this situation? As long as you don't get too deep into the thought and you're paying attention well on the street, that's what, you get to think about other things. It's the same here exactly. The reason you feel that whatever it is you're self-conscious about is super difficult and it runs slow and you lose balance is because you're running it from the part that you shouldn't be running it from. That's the part that collects information, that helps you make sense of things, and then you take it to the subconscious mind, which with the block here, it refuses to go to the subconscious mind. The key is with your inner child as well as your strongest trait. The inner child here suggests that if you have fun with it, rather than be super like taking it as a task or something that you should do, the key here lies in having fun. The more you have fun, the more you heal that block. It's kind of like it's your subconscious going, we're not taking that energy. I don't know. I have a sort of feeling, I don't know how the subconscious mind works. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert. I'm just creating an analogy. It almost feels like this energy is like a bad apple and your subconscious mind is protecting you. It's like, okay, if we take that in, it's going to spoil the other programs that are running smoothly and well. So we're not going to take this bad apple. We refuse to take that bad apple. Thank you very much. You deal with it. So, which is a good question. What we need to start there. Why is your subconscious mind, I think that could really help us. Why is your subconscious mind blocking this so much? Not wanting to take it in and seeing it as a bad apple. Ooh. It's supposed to be something that would bring you rest, and it is something that will allow you to rest a lot, but for some reason, it brings a lot of unrest to your mind. It's painful. Instead of it being such a pleasant experience that would further allow you to rest in life, because something about fun here, it's supposed to be fun with the inner child and the Page of Cups. It's supposed to be fun. But instead, it is bringing a lot of pain. It's almost like your subconscious mind is blocking it for your good, for your own good, because it doesn't want you to live feeling uneasy, unrestful, in this way. It is a hazard to your subconscious mind. Not an expert, just reading cards. So yeah, something like that. So that's why it's blocking it. The key here seems to be with your inner child, which takes us, let's place this to the side for now, which takes us to your inner child card. It's amazing how your reading is taking us. Okay, I have a good idea here. Oh, I forgot to remove your signs. Right, inner child, clue with the inner child. So what do we have? You deserve to be seen. Let yourself be known. Oh, so I may have been right about the unconscious part, particularly with people. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you could be great socially. Maybe you're just unconscious about public speaking, or maybe that's not the issue. Maybe you're great socially, but when it comes to something in particular, you're conscious. You go off balance. So you deserve to be seen. Maybe you just, you could be great socially, but you're too humble, you don't want to talk about, you don't want to show yourself, or I don't want to say show off, because that's the extreme. That's not where we want to go at all. But you're not naturally either having fun and enjoying the good things about yourself. It's kind of like things like, I don't want to talk about that's something about you, because that might intimidate others, or I don't want to dress nicely because that might intimidate them, or I don't want this. There's something around this here. But why would it put you off balance if that's the case? Oh, when maybe you could be shrinking yourself a little bit and becoming super conscious. You want to blend in, it seems. You want to blend in. But when there's attention on you, like when you're speaking to a lot of other people, or maybe you're not good with taking compliments or something like that, you don't show yourself. And so when the attention is on you, which you deserve, because you're going to be a bright star one day, hello, you lose your balance. Right, you deserve to be seen. Let yourself be known. What is your guidance here? Let's actually learn from the experts, and we'll be of course, expanding on the reading itself, but why not learn from what the experts have? Maybe they have something that would be super helpful. 42. Is this an expert? I'm not sure. Is a writer, mystic, artist, and truth seeker. Her work explores the deep aspects, that's Amanda Lynn, aspects of the human experience and the innate magic within us all. Would love to hear her perspective. Let's see. So that's she's a writer, and so within each of us, no matter how deep it might reside, is someone who desperately longs to be seen and cherished for who they are. Absolutely. This is a normal desire that is crucial to our well-being and the embodiment of our true self. It is not selfish, nor is it anything to be ashamed of. Shame. Maybe you were criticized and you were shamed for being yourself, and that's something that you should never be ashamed of. You deserve to be who you are, and if someone is not comfortable with that, then you know that it's their shadow to deal with. Yeah. The gift of being seen is something that was meant to be given to us as children by a trusted caregiver, but sometimes they were unable to do so. can be various reasons for this, and even if a caregiver did not love us, they might still not have been able to truly see us as we are. Yeah, sometimes the caregivers themselves can't see themselves. How can they see you or other people? They're already hurt, and that's something to feel for them. But it's not for you to take on that wound. They couldn't see you because they couldn't see themselves, whoever this was. But a star is always gonna be a star, whether someone sees it, recognizes it or not. They're gonna be a star. So there can be various reasons for this, and even if a caregiver did love us, they might still not have been able to truly see us as we are. In truth, it can be easier to see a person through our own lens instead of letting that person show us a new view of the world. If you feel there are parts of you that would benefit from being seen, now is the time to do so. In the same way, it is healing for another to see us. It can be just as beneficial for us to see ourselves. There's an exercise here if you're interested. For this exercise, think of at least one thing you are very good at, which we're going to do, that you have not allowed yourself to claim as yours. Once you have something in mind, make I am statements. These statements can be about anything you like, but they should provide a sense of empowerment when you say them aloud. A few examples are: I am powerful, I am kind, I am amazing at board games. So nice. Get as specific as you can regarding your awesomeness. Write down your I am statements and place them somewhere you will see them throughout your day. Whenever you see these statements, speak them aloud with conviction. Believe what you are speaking about yourself is irrevocably true. So nice. I'm glad we spent time to read this. So beautiful. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to explore even more on how you can heal that, and how your strength, your powerful trait is going to help you with that, because it holds the biggest power, along with the fun, which we will explore in a moment. So I would expand on that here, looking at your reading after we read everything and looked at everything. We were initially asking, how does your inner child hold the key for you to be seen, now that we know? Now, I would say, remember when the guidebook was saying, look at your strongest trait? I would say this. A great example for you to practice being seen here and get used to and being comfortable with that energy is to have fun in the areas that you know you're good at. Let's take the guidebook's example. I'm great at board games. If this is the case, start inviting some friends over and play more board games more often than not. This way, you get to start feeling comfortable in sitting in your power. To be comfortable with your power. You're winning. It's a board game. That's how the game's going to go. And you can enjoy it. And if you want to make your friends comfortable, prepare them some nice snacks, have some nice conversations prepared so that you can all have fun. But then you get to enjoy it, have fun, because the key's there. You want to, somehow it's the key to easing it into your subconscious mind, which thinks that it's an uncomfortable, painful process full of unease. So the more you have fun with it here, the more your subconscious mind, it seems, and I'm just reading cards, I'm not an expert, will take it in and move it from the conscious department to the unconscious department, where you'll find yourself one day just doing it with ease, without thinking about it. You don't have to think about it anymore. So, yeah, that's the key. So we were talking about the board game. Let's say you are good at, what could you be? Math, or I don't know. I don't want to keep guessing. But let's say you're good at one thing. Go to more classes or support groups or groups that enjoy this thing, right? And join them and start revolving the conversation around that thing that you enjoy, that others are enjoying. And this way, you'll just be having fun, being seen naturally because everyone enjoys talking about this. And you'll start to feel comfortable and at ease with shining bright. And it starts there. The more you have fun with it, especially starting with the areas that you're already good at and you enjoy, the more you will feel comfortable in that energy, and the more you'll reverse these strong ideas that your subconscious mind holds with regards to this particular shining bright, and it will reverse it. Instead of deeming it as something super painful, uneasy, it'll start feeling like, hey, this is fun, this is peaceful, I'm enjoying this, because just like the guidebook explained, this is an innate feeling. It's your right to be seen. Every soul, you're light, guys, you're light. So it is your right to be seen. So by time, it will be an easy process for your mind. Okay, let's continue to expand on your reading, which was very kind in giving us information. I am so curious about this blind spot. How did I not start with that? The inner child, and also there's a block, there's a blind spot here. It's like these cards found you. The blind spot. This will be something that we really love. I know a lot of people do not like Teal Swan. I love her deck though. I think her deck is brilliant. So let's take a look at your blind spot. What's your blind spot? It's card number 30. Let's take a look, like intuitively read. Yeah, it's what I've been telling you. Your conscious mind's been handling so much. How can you focus with that? That's what we keep seeing here. It almost looks the same, doesn't it? You see? The arms being open, handling so much, when it could be easily handled unconsciously without thinking. Okay, do you know how when like for example, someone is so talented at something, a drawing or something, and you ask them, how'd you do it? And they tell you, I don't know, I just do it. Or your own language. When you start teaching your own language to someone else, you'll instantly understand what this means. They're going to ask questions like, why do you specifically say this at this time? And you're like, gosh, I don't know. We just do that. You got to get the sense of it. And it's the same thing. You stop thinking about it too much. Like, why this? Why that? When? How? To your mind just doing it for you, right? So let's take a look at your blind spot now that we've analyzed it intuitively. And that is blind spot number 30. Short-term thinking. Didn't I tell you guys it was about moving it from the short memory to the long memory or to the subconscious? Anyways, let's see what the blind spot says. If you have drawn this sigil, you are falling into the trap of short-term thinking. You are not thinking and doing things with the long-term implications in your mind, and this will come back to bite you. People tend to have a strong preference for immediate payoffs. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Immediate payoffs as opposed to delayed payoffs, even when the long-term payoffs far outweigh the short-term ones. Thank you so much. I told you this is a brilliant, brilliant deck. I vouch for it. And we can be open-minded, right? Whether you agree with her or not, the deck is brilliant. Okay. Even when the long-term payoffs far outweigh the short-term ones. This may be leading you to making choices that your future self would prefer you had not made. That reminds me instantly of how when we're not in balance and we're talking to someone, we could just say something and go back and go, gosh, like you get all of the ideas. I wish I said this. I could have done this. I could have done that. And if like that, most of the time, all of the time happens when we're like reacting instead of thinking from a calm place and then acting. So yeah, that's when you go back and go, oh, could have done this, could have done that. The bottom line is this. If we are making decisions for the future or making choices for right now, we will often make different decisions. Our world is littered with examples of unintended consequences that are the result of short term thinking. A woman might want to feel the belonging and love and approval relative to a man who is showing her sexual interest, and so she does not use. Okay, we're getting really deep into. We don't need to go deeper than that. We got the point. So, this has given us a brilliant idea here that it doesn't matter if you do something that is uncomfortable for you, which is in that case being seen, and turning out not to be seen, not winning the situation, not getting right away what you're meant to get. The point is to heal it so that you are, and that's how you move it to the subconscious mind, where you effortlessly shine like a bright light that you are. And so it doesn't matter, the short-term gains are not what you're looking for. You're looking for the long-term gains, which is slowly and gently healing that block. And so this means 1,000 times not seen until the block is out, and a million trillion billion unlimited lifetime, life after life after life, realm after realm being seen because you're the light. And that's going to happen one anyway because you're the light. But if you want to enjoy it now, that's how it is meant to happen. The secret from going from this to this is exactly like driving, doing it 1,000 times, coming back going, gosh, am I ever gonna drive? Is this gonna happen for me? Until you actually do. That's the key. And you want to accept that you're out to be seen and coming back absolutely okay for not being seen, even though you were starting to try. And the best way to do it gently and in the most beautiful way is to begin in the things that you have fun in. Join groups, join activities, go back to things that you love doing, or even hobbies, but with people. And yeah, you know something? I'm going to plug this unshamedly. The second channel, which is White Feather Zodiac Tarot, please don't get tired of me. I'm passionate about this other channel because I do hobbies in the weekends and I take you with me and I do a tarot reading in the background. There's a community that loves it there. So maybe you can join us, and it could be the beginning of you, talking to everyone about what you like, what you want to do next, how you are going to enjoy it. Maybe you're inspired by one of the hobbies and you can start talking. It's more, because it's a smaller community there, it's more homier and more intimate as well. So yeah, make sure you check out the other channel. Otherwise, this is really all about going back to the things you love and enjoy and shining bright there. Okay, so that's the blind spot. The blind spot is you don't need instant results, right? You want the long-term gain over short-term gains. Lose 1,000 times before you find your light again. Now, I'm sure the cards are going to start showing us. If they don't, I will answer the question. It's very clear here, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let's just see the whole guidance and what came out for you. We'll trust the process, starfish. Aren't you a star? My goodness. And this card talks about creativity. I know. I've read it before. It talks about talent and creativity. Again, it is leading you to go pick up your talents, where you're creative, what you enjoy, because it will allow you to bring out your light, which is being a star. You must be a star seed. Again, the same thing. Go to where you are. Go to where you are appreciated. Lovely. You could do that. So go back to your talents, go back to where you shine bright, and stay there, like swim there until you feel comfortable, and then expand and expand and expand. You don't have to get out of your comfort zone in a way that's uncomfortable for you, but you want to get out nonetheless. Finally, your Enneagram, before we focus here, and it could be focusing, who knows? You've got the Enneagram Paranoia under the category of mental tendency. And the keywords are suspicion of conspiracy, mistrust, fear, trouble, psychosis, persecution, the lyrium. I think I read, I knew about this before, but I forgot. But in any case, I believe the energy of this card here is talking about when we are natural. It's a natural thing that happens when we are afraid of something. We tend to become paranoid about it. Like we tend to build these conspiracies in our mind and stories that don't even exist. And when we're so scared, we can go and say things like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did this and you felt this way. That's why you probably said this and I didn't mean." And then this person would tell you, "Oh, I didn't even think about all of that. Please don't worry about it. I love you. I didn't even think about any of these things. Hey, take it easy. Do whatever you want. I know you're a good person," and so on. So there is another aspect here is that a lot of the things, once you start tapping into that energy of being seen, you're going to find out that most of the ideas that you have that are dimming your light may not even be there. Even if one person has these ideas, 99% of the people aren't even thinking about this. And you know how the infamous quote of most people don't have you so much in their mind like that. Most people are self-conscious about their things and they're thinking about their own things. Most people are selfish. Right? So they're not even thinking about how deep you're thinking about this. So yeah, I believe your card is saying the more you stand in your light and follow this guidance, the more all of these ideas are gonna drop, and you're gonna go, my God, I used to think this. I used to think this person would be hurt. I used to think this person would be uncomfortable. I used to think they will think this, they will do that, and you will notice that most of these things aren't even true. And sometimes they're projections of your own pain. Like maybe you go through a particular type of pain that you will learn isn't something that others are even going through. And so that's what your card wants to show you here. Last but certainly not least, after we've explored everything, this should make it super easy now to answer the question of how your most powerful trait will be the biggest healer to this whole situation. And I'm seeing something very interesting. Since this is your most powerful trait, your cards didn't even waste time putting more emphasis here. The cards generously put a lot of emphasis on the weakest to top it off finally with the strongest. And so here, do you remember when I told you that one day you'll be making a movement and you're going to be shining bright and you're going to help so many others? The more you tap into your energy of guidance with the thing that you are good at, let's say, and this is something, by the way, even energetically true. When you use the blessings that you have to give to others, energetically, you become a vessel of properly receiving. You're not creating a block where you're receiving and not giving it to others. You become a vessel through which that energy flows. And so, you know how energy likes to flow through the most resistant path. And so the more you're giving of your blessing to others, that does not mean ignore yourself, because that's a block. The more you're giving to others from what you have, the more you're going to be blessed with that, with things that you want in your life. Like, for example, if you are conscious that every month you're making sure you help others with the money that you have, even if a little bit, you are by time becoming a vessel through which more money comes to you. That's why philanthropy is very important. It allows you to learn, just like pro bono with lawyers. It allows you to learn. It gives you so many benefits, especially energetically. So there's something about, and that's interesting here, there's something about how your strength is going to be the biggest one, the biggest thing that will fight off the block here that's opposite. There's something here about use what you're good at to help others. That's the best way to stand in your light. So let's say, for example, you are great at math. give a part of your week every week, like an hour of your week, a half an hour of your week, even YouTube, start YouTube videos that you are fully invested with your heart, whether it monetizes or not, to pass on this great knowledge that you have onto others. This is going to be your most powerful tool that will, by time, help you move it from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. This is how it's going to make you comfortable in standing in your light, being the light already. And I told you one day you're going to be a shining star that will enlighten important things to others. You are a very intelligent person and you're guided to use this intelligence. Use a time of your week and dedicate it fully from your heart to passing on this light of the greatest talent and skill that you have onto many others, like create free sessions, free training classes, invite your friends to help them over with this. Like maybe you're great at accounting and your friends aren't, you can invite them and you can teach them how to do it, and so on and so forth. Maybe you're great at language. Bring someone who's in your country trying to learn that language every week. There's so much you can do that would put you in the light, especially if you do it with several people. Maybe you want to start with one, but eventually here with the Three of Pentacles, you want to do it for a group of people. So get into that, my dear pile number one. And that is exactly fully what I see in your reading of your powerful trait that is destined to overcome your weakest. I truly hope you've enjoyed your reading and that you found it useful. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number one, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at a powerful trait about you that is destined to overcome. Oh, you got two cards here. That is destined to. I'm just thinking. Yeah, we'll read one and then we'll use. We'll let the reading lead us, really. So, a powerful trait about you that is destined to overcome your weakest. And these are the decks that I'll be using for your reading today. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Rhodochrosite. Your significator card is the Knight of Swords. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Scorpio, Virgo, Pisces, as well as Leo. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to find their piles as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. The plan here is, before we look at any of your cards, whether tarot cards or oracle cards, is to use the transparent tarot and stack up the cards to read what your strongest trait is, your most powerful trait is, as well as your weakest. So that's the plan. We're going to be placing it right up top so that it's always our reference. And yeah, let's start pulling out your most powerful trait. So we've got, let's line them up first and then we can read them. And then your weakest. There we go. Okie dokie. So let's start with your strongest. You've got the Six of Wands. Well, when it comes to your most powerful trait, it always makes you win at something, succeed at something, which is lovely. You never lose there. Rarely ever lose there. It's kind of like if someone puts you in that situation, you know you're going to win. Two of Swords. Two of Swords in the strongest means you do it without even thinking. You don't think about it much. You just do it and you win. You do it and you succeed at it. Like a good example is, let's say painting is your strongest trait. You've always been good at painting. You don't even need to think about it. Wherever you go, you're just going to scribble, 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 and something amazing is going to come out. You don't even think about it. Perhaps it amazes you personally. Right. Justice. You're destined to do something with this powerful trait. It's your destiny for a reason. You're destined to have it. You're destined to have it, which means you're born with it. It's just yours, something that's yours. Nobody can take that from you. And finally, with the Page of Swords, something about this skill allows you to learn things quickly. It allows you to explore many territories that others maybe don't easily explore. It allows you to conquer many areas that are not easy for others to conquer. I need to think about an example other than being talented at drawing, because this is deep. It allows you to easily, like for example, let's say someone is so good at mingling, socializing, convincing people. It's like your easy thing. You're just so popular anywhere you go. If we put you anywhere, leave you for 5 minutes, come back, you know everyone. You are just so good at that. Conquering other areas means that there are things that you can explore and do easily simply because you're good at making friendships with others. So that could be things like expanding your business relationships and making bigger and better deals all the time based on the fact that you can connect with others easily. So that's what I mean by a great skill that you have that allows you to win. You're put there and you know you're gonna win because you know that's a powerful trait that you have. It's like, oh, that's what you need, I'm gonna ace this. That's what's needed in the interview, I'm gonna ace this. That's what the business needs, I'm gonna ace this. Something like that. And it's always been there, the pages, ever since you were young. You were born with it and you're destined to do something great. That's why you have this amazing skill in you, to you. So that is your most powerful trait. Would you like more information about this powerful trait? I mean, I don't think having a gift like that would make you miss knowing what we're talking about, but just in case, we can refine it even more for you. So, Sun, you're very popular for this. Like, one of the things that people describe you with is like, ooh, that person, they're good with this. It's one of the things that comes to mind when people describe you. You're very popular with that skill. 10 of Swords. This skill, as mentioned, has prevented you from feeling a lot of pains that others go through. A quick example is that, let's say you have photographic memory, for example. Others have to go through the pain of learning things, particular things by heart, and revising them and making sure that you can remember them and all these hours put in. But something about you is that the skill has coated you or protected you from a lot of the pains people usually go through. You don't have to go through these pains. You're very lucky like that. Oh, I'm intrigued. 10 of Wands. Slip. There's a slip up here. 10 of Wands. This person is carrying a lot and they're going slow. Trip up. Just as it was protecting you from some things and some pains that others had to go through, on the other side of the coin, It also made you trip up in areas where people don't usually trip up. What is that? Is that a riddle? Okay, well, I gotta think of an example. I'm sure I'm gonna come up with something. Like if we go back to the photographic memory thing, if you are so good at remembering things, maybe there were things that you could have spent time, or subjects that you could have spent more time understanding and learning in your childhood, for example, that you didn't, just because you were blessed to have a photographic memory. And so you fall in the trap, you fall into the trap of using it a lot and not getting the benefits of some things. Like any privilege in the world, like for example, being privileged with so much wealth that you never had to think about accounting for the future or anything like that. Maybe someone with this type of privilege, unless their parents made sure they teach them about the value of money, um, haven't learned how to manage money, and that would be proved to be super useful in business, for example, or in success and many things in life. So, in that way, and I don't know what your privilege here is, but you're very lucky. You definitely have a privilege since childhood that you got so easily. Maybe you're able to recall things easily. Maybe you're able to learn. Page of Wands. Maybe you learn things quickly. You might be super intelligent that you just learn things quickly. It takes other people time to learn things. Takes you like seconds to pick up on an idea. That could be another thing, because the sun is the mind. Maybe your body. Hold up. Hold up. Maybe you have a very healthy body, and you could be also very good looking. So you got a lot of privilege with that other people don't have. But you also trip up because, like, if we're thinking about beauty, then maybe others like don't know you at the core. They uh, uh, just enjoy the surface. There's more to you that they could love about you, but that's all they focus on. Just a little bit of examples here. But I think you're starting to get the gist of the powerful trait about you. Something that you've always had in childhood, it was destined for you to have. You can't miss this. If you've had it since childhood and it's that bright, like in the contrast between you and others is very clear when it comes to that skill. I tried to find a bit of examples, like being a good learner, having a strong body, being healthy, looking good, are just some of the things that I can find out. Maybe you're privileged, like legally privileged. You could be one of the legally privileged people. That could be a lot of wealth, for example. That could be maybe you or your family or your parents in a strong position in your country. That's another thing, right? And while it kept you protected, it wasn't easy. Maybe like you had a lot of security, or maybe you couldn't have some friends, or people were worried. I don't know. We can go on, right? We don't want to waste more time, but I think you get the gist here. Super privileged with a talent, a skill, or something just easily given to you in childhood, right? Okay, now as we've explored your powerful trait, it's a trait. I highly doubt it's something given to you at childhood, or although I could be wrong, because even privilege given at childhood teaches us a lot of things, right? So that's in with us. We can consider it as a clue, right? So that's your powerful trait. Now let's look at your weakest. So, whoa, Tower card. Well, this definitely causes a lot of triggers, right? It definitely puts you off balance right away. It triggers you, and it's a powerful trigger. Do you see electricity running through your body right away? King of Cups. That's lovely. You seem to be a very loving person. Oh, all this privilege. That's so sweet. King of Cups. So nice. This is the Queen of Wands. Gosh, how can you have the Queen of Wands and triggers? It looks like this weakness makes you popular. Are you kidding me? This pile, no, 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 no. I can't with this pile. Are you kidding me? Okay, empathy, empathy. Go back to empathy. But really cool, I must say. Wow. A trigger that makes you popular? That's a new one. Okay, well, patience with this pile. I think I'm going to love this pile. So, but King of Cups, it also made you very loving with the King of Cups. Ten of Swords. But it brings a lot of pain to you. Joking aside, I was just making you laugh. It does look like it brings you a lot of pain. Now, I need to wrap my mind around this. A trigger that makes you popular? Well, it makes sense. Sometimes our shadows hold power. So something about how this trigger is so big. Maybe the King of Cups is not just you being loving, it's making you fall in love deeply with something. This trigger, it seems, in order to avoid it, has eventually or ultimately made you a powerful person because it pushed you outside of the regular comfort zone because it was so uncomfortable that it gave you a benefit of being popular in something and shining bright in something, and it's due to debilitating pain. This is a very interesting pile. Like when we are in a tough situation and we find ourselves doing things that we can't usually do, but we do it because we're in the situation. Think about a mother. Like, I always tell you this example. A mother who found herself being able to carry a whole big heavy car that requires 5 6 people to carry because she's protecting her child, like making sure it's safe for her child to pass, and it's like, good, you can pass now, or something. So all I'm trying to say is that there are some times when we are put in such a either a scary situation or a situation that just simply pushes us out of our boundaries. And so you do miracles because of this trigger. Let's say, now we need to put it in a context of traits, this example. So let's say, I have an example. Let's say everyone's afraid of public speaking, for example. It's a common fear that a lot of people have. So most people wouldn't speak up and be the first to, do that. You would be, for example, if we follow that example, you would be the first to public speak or anything else that people are usually afraid of. Why? Because you have a much bigger trigger in that case than the public speaking. Let's say you have this voice of a teacher or a parent shaming you for not doing things. And let's say this shame is so big, is so painful that nothing else in comparison comes close. So in order not to hear that voice of, oh, you're not going to do it or something like that, you find yourself having all of the power, just like the mother that carries the car that 5 people need to carry all by herself to save her child. You too, in order not to feel that big trigger, you go ahead and do the things that most people are afraid of. Like, and a quick example comes to mind. Let's say you grew up with very unsafe situations when it comes to money. Your parents maybe couldn't, due to the harsh circumstances, meet your needs. So now you've gotten such huge fear of not having money that you find yourself doing things that nobody would imagine you could do, becoming super successful financially in your work because that trigger scares you. It's like anything but that or something. So we can go on with examples, but I think you're starting to catch the gist. While this is, it gives you the drive and the love to pursue things and become successful, and look at the Knight of Swords. It's like nothing can stop you, nothing can stand in your way of you shining bright and following what you want. But at the same time, the other flip of the coin, as we've discussed, is debilitating pain. One that is not, I don't want to like put messages like that in your mind, but one that is very powerful and requires some form of healing. Now, you also succeed, it seems, because you're very, yeah, there's something, that's why you've got the Knight of Swords. This is, nothing stops you here. You are the kind of person that nothing stands in your way. And if everyone's thinking, whoa, how does this pile do that? That's why. You know, I'm thinking of an archetype. You know what this archetype reminds me of? Asian parents. I had a lot of Asian friends, and it was kind of, at least in my opinion, nobody ever told me anything. So this is simply me making like my own conclusions, and I could be absolutely wrong. But I feel like Asian parents want their children to be the best. They love their children so much, they want them to be the best. And in their pursuit of making sure this happens, I think, I could be wrong, correct me. This is this is just my observation. I could be absolutely wrong. But perhaps it creates a form of trigger, or like a voice or something that children don't want to hear, and so it makes them ruthless. So I could be wrong, but just a quick example that I can think about that I could be very wrong about. Okay. And hey, this is not like saying something bad, for example, about Asian parents. I have all the love towards all the parents in the world. They all want us to be the best, each one in their own way, right? So this is said lovingly and respectfully, and it could even be wrong. So back to the point. Yeah, this makes you pursue things and nothing can stand in your way in this pile. Love that. And you've got a talent here on top of that that makes sure you get what you want. But here your weakest trait seems to be around debilitating pain that brings instant trigger. So what does the trigger tell you, just so we have an idea? Knight of Pentacles, that if you work hard enough, you're gonna get what you want. Something about if you didn't do it, then you didn't work hard enough, or something. You weren't patient enough. You didn't work enough. Empress, yeah, something about working hard to get the money or the things you desire. What did we say your trait was? Yeah. It wasn't specific, but I'm sure because there are different people listening to this reading, so that makes sense. But it definitely makes you stand out, and it helps you. It's around achieving goals, abundance, comfort, something like that. Empress. About being creative. It, for some of you, it could be about motherhood and children. But yeah, mainly it's about achieving goals, achieving wealth, achieving abundance. Abundance and love both could be here. Okay. What's the trigger? Yeah. The trigger is the lack of love and achievement. Perhaps lack of love and achievement. Okay, fearing lack of, and that's like debilitating pain. May I ask why? What happened? Could help us. Two of Pentacles, and it looks like the Fool card. Perhaps mm, you tripped. You tripped. You lost balance. Something went off balance. You weren't able to balance something, or maybe someone wasn't able to balance something. Something went off balance. Three of Wands. Very quickly. It veered off course because the Three of Wands is barking on a new journey. So it's something went off balance suddenly and veered off course, which probably caused a strong shock in your life. Okay, something suddenly veered off course. It was balanced and nice and lost the balance and lost direction, changed very quickly. Seven of Wands became super challenging to the point where you or a grown-up lost the power to push through these challenges. Yeah, this totally talks about a sudden loss of control, maybe even at childhood, because it looks like the Fool figure here, the Fool card, innocent, young, maybe at childhood. Probably scared you, yeah, during that time. Okay. So this is a shadow that either makes you popular or is going to be the reason you become so popular and desirable, irresistible, right? This or the other. But it certainly allows you to manifest what you want. Okay. Let's continue to look at what your cards are offering us. I want to start with the inner child. So you've got today is the day. It is time to begin the journey. Oh, do you see the the thunder? The thunder. The neck of the giraffe is talking about holding your head up high. Hold your head up high. Is this talking about shame? Maybe you're ashamed of what happened in your past. Let's figure this out. Let's look at what the writer is showing here. The creator of the deck, Amanda Lynn, page 36. Today's the day, huh? Okay, it can seem overwhelming when you look toward the finish line of a journey you have not yet begun and see how long it will take to reach the end. But the finish line is not always where your attention belongs. The journey begins with one step and continues with the next step and the next until one day you will have arrived. If you have pulled this card, then it might be time to do what you have been putting off. I get it. So it looks here like we did talk about how this shadow is debilitating, right? Ten of Swords, this tower, it's painful. And so in order to heal it, perhaps you don't work on it because it's so strong. Like, how are you going to heal it in a day? It is talking about how this is going to take time. And so you shouldn't have your eye on the end result right away. And you're guided to focus more on taking it day by day and just focusing on what you need to do to work on the healing of this shadow today. Every day is your today. And that's all you need to focus on. Forget about healing this overnight. Forget about being discouraged that it is going to be, it's not working, it's not happening. It's going to take its time, so you want to accept that. But every single time you put an effort into this, you are ultimately healing it. Every single time. And that on its own is a comforting thought. knowing that with the roots of the tree, you may not be seeing the roots and how they're expanding, providing support to a tall, big tree, heavy tree. And so every single effort you're making, you may not see the results on the outside, but you're definitely creating more roots to hold you in such a strong way to be able to finally heal this. And so we'll see how your talent here is going to be helping you, but we're taking it bit by bit and letting the cards guide us bit by bit. So it's essentially saying you want to take it day by day, forget about the end result for now. You got to start somewhere, and you got to start today. And you got to do one step each day, and that's all you want to care about. Okay, I want to pull out one of these blind spot cards because they really help out with the blind spots. So this guidebook, I told pile number 1, I'm probably going to say the same thing to pile number 2, just because Teal Swan is a controversial figure. But I do find that a lot of the time she says brilliant things. That aside, we can be open-minded to learn from this guidebook. It is brilliant, to say the least. Right, so to do that, we just want to first read this diagram intuitively when it comes to blind spots. That's your blind spot. And what is this reminding me of? Like, there is a 2 here, but then it's crossed out, canceling each other, just like in math, for example, like how there's 11 over 11, cross them, becomes a 1, or something about the other one cancels it out. Something about maybe if you do the opposite, it cancels the pain out. If you do the opposite of your fear, it cancels it out. Yeah, because look at the black ball and the white ball, the yin and the yang. Something about if you do its opposite, you, instead of going this way, you go this way, and something about shift in direction. So something here about your healing of doing its opposite, and it will cancel immediately that trigger or that pain out. So I need an example here. What I'm about to say is not an invitation not to go towards your dreams, right? That's a disclaimer. But let's say you are able to recognize that you're going overboard here. So, like, you need to do extra things that you don't need to do. Like, I've seen this one time. You know how these real life shows, especially in the UK, they're so entertaining. These UK programs about organizing a house, or someone who eats only that particular type of food, or this or that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. They're very entertaining. So there was this one time, especially they're entertaining because you can see how they're genuinely helping the people there. But anyways, there was this one time where this girl couldn't stop exercising, and she just had to exercise every day. And the thing about these programs is you learn about different people, you have empathy towards them, you see how they overcome things, and you can think about how you can use these methods that the experts are giving for your own life, and so on. So with this girl, she couldn't stop exercising. And so every time she would go longer without exercising, this would be a win for her. And it did help her out to eventually not be so obsessed about exercising. So in the same way, while you going after your dreams and achieving the things that you want is a wonderful thing, just like the exercise here, doing an extreme of it could be detrimental either to your health or to everything, right? A balance is always required. And so there's something about let's say you're going after a particular dream, or you're doing tasks, you're doing a lot. And so you have this voice that tells you, you got to do more, you got to do more, whatever the Knight of Pentacles is for you. You got to do more, or you got to get you got to get more, you got to save more, whatever this is saying. Here, the healing day by day is to do less of that. Like you say, today I was supposed to do even like these 5 more tasks, but I'm not going to do them. And this might seem funny to other piles, but it would make absolute sense in your situation. Or I'm over saving today. I'm just going to spend a little bit in my comfort, in my this and my that. That does not mean spend all of your money. It's just you realizing the extreme due to the extreme feeling. And so you're not changing something good. You're simply softening the strong trigger here by not following it, simply not following it, negating it in the moment. Going, okay, I recognize this is extreme and I'm not going to do that. It seems to you, for you, with the Knight of Pentacles and the Empress, something has to do with money, love. Maybe it's love. I want to be with my partner all the time, but I realize that's not healthy. I gotta do my own thing. So for the next, take it little by little. For the next 10 minutes, I'm not gonna call my partner. I'm not gonna want them to be there. I'm gonna go and do my own thing. And you extend that time over and over and over and over until it is going to balance for you. It's a journey, but begin today and hold your head high. Don't feel ashamed of these triggers at all, or if you don't do it, especially because it seems here it's about not doing something. So don't feel ashamed. Sit with it and observe your feelings. Don't think about them, just observe them and do its opposite. Okay, let's take a look at the second blind spot, and that's the one we're gonna read. Oh, interesting. Doesn't it look like a motorcycle and the road, and maybe that's an airplane as well, and this guy's going on the road, and something about speed. Well, I will tell you, oh, it's a blind spot. Hold on. I will tell you something, that although your trigger is really big, you will, by the way, move fast through it. And then there will come another point where it's even faster. You'll find yourself moving through long, going far away lands in your journey that you didn't expect to go this fast. So slow leads to faster, to very fast. It's going to go fast, but be patient and don't wait for the end result every day. So blind spot, we'll take a look at page number 20, card number 20. In case some of you would say, Reem, why didn't you read the other one? I will open it up. You can take a screenshot and you can read it if you want, because this guidebook is amazing. So here it is, if you want to read it. Right? Let's now open to number 20, which is the one we're going to read here. Right. You don't know, but you think you know. Interesting. So, if you have drawn this sigil, you think you know everything in a circumstance, but actually you do not know everything, and a critical piece of information is missing. Oh, consider that this piece of information or awareness might be something no one sees yet. Or it might be a piece of information being provided already by someone from the outside that is being rejected. That you're not taking in, In this situation, acting from what you know is acting in ignorance. This desire to be the one who knows is not in and of itself negative, but there is a shadow side to the quest for knowledge. The shadow side is that knowledge is often used by the ego as security blanket. Because you're talented. Oh, okay. Because you're talented at something. You're leaning too much into your talent, which we're starting to get into your strongest trait again here. Now that we've explored the weakest. The shadow side is that knowing is often used by the ego as a security blanket. The ego uses knowledge to avoid things that it fears. That's exactly what the shadow has been showing us here. In society, knowing more about something than somebody else boosts one's social status. We become significant to others when we know something more than they do. We become significant when we are the conduit through which they can get their knowledge fix. It is easy then to see how the ego could use knowledge to avoid insignificance, personal insecurity, and worthiness. I think you're so proud of this trait. Didn't I tell you guys you're leaning too much into it? Okay, so it's destined to help you, but you've leaned too much on it. So that's a blind spot here. Knowledge also helps us to avoid future calamity. If we know the winter is coming, we can stock up on food and survive the winter. If we do not know it is coming and do not stock up on food, we may die. If we are a person who worries about the future and most of all who does not trust ourselves to create a reality that feels good to us, knowledge becomes a tool for self-protection. It is the warrior's best friend. Knowledge is often used by the ego to keep itself away from the rocky seas of uncertainty because cognitive closure makes us feel safe. I got it. We did explore from the very beginning that you're leaning too much into, just like the person who didn't take the time to absorb the information just because they're blessed with a photographic memory and they just go and write it down. It's like an open book exam to them. So, we want to explore now how your biggest trait can be super useful for you because it's automatically going to be super useful for you if you remove your lean on it. So how are you specifically leaning on your powerful trait to the point where you are not getting enough information that can help you with making use of it in the best way for your shadow? Because your strongest trait here, not only is it going to help you in exams or with people or with your business, but it's specifically going to be your biggest asset in reducing the intensity of this trigger. So, how are you leaning too much on your big asset here? Nine of Swords in reverse. You instantly use it to ward off your fears instead of sitting with your fears. Fear of exam? No problem. No fear here. I'm just gonna write it down. Fear of whatever. Depends on what this beautiful trait, an amazing blessed trait is. You use it too much when you're afraid. And so instead of facing the situation and living through the fear, which ultimately is the thing that teaches you, and this is not expert advice, always consult an expert. This is just creative tarot reading. It is guiding you to actually, it's beneficial, this fear, because it allows you to sit with it and thus heal it, negate it. Yeah, sit with your fears. It's that example of the exercise. You're afraid if you're not exercising, just like this program. You want to sit with this fear, sit with this discomfort. The more you sit with it and not win. Remember something about something about not winning. Was it you or pile one? Pile one. But something about a long journey. here, and it's not meant to happen overnight. And so here you want to know that you're just sitting with the fear. Nothing is going to happen on that day except that. And while you may not see it, the roots are healing. They're becoming stronger. So you're basically guided to, yes, if you don't lean into your powerful trait. How can you not lean into your powerful trait when you're afraid? In case you don't know how to do that, I will, like, we know if you're afraid, but you have photographic memory, which means you want to sit down and still learn about this information, even if you have photographic memory. I mean, you can't cancel. This means that this blessing is going to be there, the strong trait, and that's what's required actually, because it will ultimately help you. But it's being debilitated by you using it in the wrong direction rather in the right direction. And so this means, I get it. This means that when you're afraid, don't over rely on this skill in the way that you think it's going to help you. Do the homework just like everyone would do it had they not had this blessing. And you will find that in that case, your blessing is coming from a healthy place, helping you. The blessing could be there, but don't be overly reliant on it, overly focused on it. That's how you can finally allow this powerful trait to conquer. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to conquer. You see, just like this person protecting themselves with the gas mask, this when you face your fears, it allows this trait to safely conquer this blessing and not be affected by it, which is probably what happens every time. As much as this trait is powerful, this trigger is so strong, and perhaps it doesn't help you every single time. And so if you stop over relying on it and face it like everyone else, then your advantage will be able to absolutely obliterate any power that this trigger has, negating it, canceling it right away. Cancel after cancel after cancel culture. That totally heals it. And it's something that you are required to do day after day, and be patient with that coming back, knowing that you won in the roots, not up in the tree, until the tree becomes super strong and stands the test of time. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. Finally, you've got 2 last cards. Lion. You are meant to be strong. And the awesome thing about your shadow is that it's already providing you power. Now, integrating it allows you to be the lion that you are. You're a very strong person, blessed with wonderful traits that rarely anyone ever has. And it's going to put you in a strong place where you're unconquerable. You're very lucky in that way. And finally, your last card is the Enneagram of Compartmentation under the category of defense mechanism. And the keywords are fragmentation, it's the fractured shadow, isolation, division, cleavage, lowering, as well as separation. So it's definitely talking about a fractured part of you that longs to be with compartmentation. It's doing that to protect you, but it longs to become whole again, where the real power lies. So sitting with it every day is your way of inviting, giving that nurture, that love that you should have gotten from a very long time ago when you needed it. It's your way of looking at it, confirming its existence. It wants to be seen. See it, sit with it, don't be ashamed of it, And yeah, it just requires you to go through the pain, observing it, not go through it, like don't live it, but just endure. I want to say, rather, the words I'm trying to say, endure the pain of release, right? So be uncomfortable in the situation and don't rely too much on your gift for now, because in that way you're freeing it to help you, and nothing can stop it there. Yeah, you are the lion. What can we say? You're meant to be very powerful. You deserve it. It's you. So stand in that power. And once you're there, nothing can stand in your way. Like, what you want is going to become your territory, and nobody dares come near that, your territory. And my dear pile number 2, this is exactly what I see in your reading. This was so interesting. I wish you the best of luck from my heart. Your talent will conquer this trigger one day. Just give it the space every day to do that. And while it might start slow, it's going to go faster, and it will surprise you by how fast and how far it can go. And my dear pile number 2, this was your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 2, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today, as you know, we're taking a look at your powerful trait about you that is destined to overcome your weakest. And these are the decks that I'll be using for your reading today. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Bumblebee Jasper. Your significator card is the Two of Wands. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Aquarius, Capricorn, Aries, as well as Cancer. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. We'll be starting off with the Invisible Tarot, and I'll be stacking up some cards to see what your powerful trait is, first of all, and what your weakest is. This way we have a good introduction about what we're working with today energetically, and then we'll expand using the rest of your cards. So let's start off with finding out what is your strongest trait, my dear pile number 3. So we'll stack up 4. 1, 2. Are you knowledgeable? What is that? The Two of what? Oh, that's the High Priestess. Ooh. Okay, so let's just stack them and then we'll explore them in a moment. Just got carried away. I think this one. Right. Is that an extra card? What is that? 1. Oh, the Magician. Ooh. The Red Dragon. Alchemy. Turning lead into gold. You're great at self-improvement. You're a dragon at self-improvement. You change so much and you improve so much and you manifest so much in your world that it is absolutely scary to others, because you got the Nine of Cups. You're always able to reach your dreams. Knight of Cups, you follow your heart. Wow, the High Priestess and the Magician? You're definitely a manifester here. You make miracles happen. You've got inner magic that you are in touch with, and you alchemize. Alchemization comes to you naturally. You barely think about it with the High Priestess. It's just natural. It's like internal, something that you know, understand on a very deep level. Alchemizing, manifesting, all that magic stuff. That's all. Yeah. And you reach your dreams constantly. Wow, I love this pile. Okay, like you're almost functioning from another world, you internally know all these secrets, whether you're aware of them or not. You could be applying some things and read about them later and go, oh, so, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I actually do that. Something like that. Wow, wow. Your most powerful trait, this is an interesting pile, is magical. You just know how to manifest. And we call it magic, but it could be the real world, really, the real thing. So, 3 cards. We need one more. Let's see what we have. We don't need this for now, so let me keep it here. Right. And in terms of your weakest, oh, are you kidding me? You've got the strength card as your weakest? Oh, wow. Oh, it's like you're a strong person, but you're very sweet and soft. So much so that you don't know it. It could be translating it in the weakest, or maybe, but it's just that this card is not giving me what I'm about to tell you. Maybe your weakest point is being so strong that you could be overreactive, you could be using your power too much. But the way this lioness is so soft, I doubt that you lose control here. Well, the rest of the cards are going to show us what we're looking at. What is this? The 5 of Swords. Oh, could be a strong person that was greatly bullied, the 5 of Swords. A strong person who's become empathetic? Is this talking about how a strong trait that you have is becoming your weakest due to bullying or something? Something that's going to be a very interesting pile. Now, what do we have here? Is that the Knight? Yeah. No, that's the King. King of Pentacles. Offering. I keep seeing a hand here, a hand there. I'm getting an idea of offering. You're too generous, maybe? Yeah, because of the look of the King of Pentacles. Do you see it? I think maybe how the King of Pentacles looks very empathetic. Every face here is super empathetic. The arched eye, like the way it's looking up is like very it shows a lot of emotions. I'm feeling something about being very generous, kind. Maybe your strength has been, what's the word called when we take animals from the wild? We make them what? We what? Tame them? Like we give them so much love and kindness that they're not aggressive anymore. We provide them the food, everything, so they don't get in touch with their hunting powers or anything like that. Something about you here, a strong person who's been tamed, if you ask me, tamed by bullying. Knight of Wands. Bend the knee. The Knight of Wands is bending the knee. Not going after their desires. I'm reading it intuitively. But bending the knee. A strong person that nothing can stand in their ways of what they want, Knight of Wands, is bending the knee. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the way I'm looking at all of these together, it's... Okay, I have something very weird I'm noticing. Something about the combination of a lot of love and care and gentleness and a lot of bullying, something about the contrast of the two has made you tame your strength, become very generous, and although you have a lot of desires, it seems like you're not following it, you're rather bending the knee. So overall, it's giving me the energy of, what's the word called? pleasing, ple- ple- pleasing. While generosity is something that no one can take away from you. You are a generous person. But I think it crossed the line here a little bit, a lot actually. And you yourself may not recognize that it is perhaps a way to buy, King of Pentacles, buy maybe the peace you're looking for, because there's a lot of bullying here. Perhaps it's your mind now that's bullying you, and no one's bullying you anymore. It's the ideas left there as a continuation of this person or these people that continues to bully you. And I think here it is describing a very strong person through a lot of love and a lot of bullying. They liked love, they chose love, and they don't want to use their strong power. And so instead of fighting, they're giving a lot, and a lot of the times not going after what they want, and instead bending the knee to what others want. You're described by the Knight of Wands here because we know that you are someone who knows and easily gets what they want. That's your energy. But yet, you sacrifice what you want. Although it's easy for you to get it, you don't. Because that's the price you pay with the King of Pentacles to get some form of peace that you really need. Maybe you're the one taming your strength, even. Maybe these two things are left with you, the bullying and the kindness. And so you use these two energies, or they're with you. You comfort yourself in the same gentle way as someone comforted you. You know, you remind me of someone who had opposite parents. One who was so gentle and loving, and the other was a bully, or like rough, whether anyone meant it or not. This is said with full respect. Or maybe you had loving parents and a bully teacher or bully colleagues, right? So there are opposite energies here at play. And so you love that energy. You gave your power to it, and you tend to be generous in the hopes of not going through the pain of bullying with the Five of Swords. That is what I'm seeing in this pile. Someone who's not going after what they want a lot of the times to buy peace, and comfort. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Okay. So how is your power of manifestation, which seems like it's bending the knee here, bending the knee in the background, bending the knee though. Knight of Cups is going after what the heart desires, but there's a bending of the knee, and this needs to be adjusted. This integration is going to make you show what you're made of. You know how when you see someone's talent and they're like, you like that? You ain't seen nothing yet. So something like that. If that's already amazing, you ain't seen anything yet of what you can do and what your powers are. And this shadow needs to be integrated, needs to be healed and integrated. Right. Two of Wands, two sides. That is keeping you off balance. Two sides that is keeping... Did I mention the signs here? Aquarius, Capricorn, Aries, and Cancer. As always, if these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. Okay. So two sides. And two sides that are very visible in you with the Two of Wands. The seeing, and also this is like a TV studio. So a lot of people can see these two sides in you. They can see how dangerous you are and how you change and manifest and get what you want. But they also see They can see a powerful person who has totally, someone who seems to be strong, totally tamed their power. And although they're very powerful, they can use this power. People can see that, but they're wondering, how can someone that powerful with all of these powers, all of these strengths, all these advantages, be buying their peace in this way? So people can see these two sides of you. Do you? That's another question. Okay. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the reading. The meat and the potatoes. How is this powerful trait about you destined to overcome your weakness? We'll let your cards guide us and show us more about this, a little bit more about this, how this is all going to happen. We're just going to let it lead the way. Okay, so let's start off with your Enneagram. Oh, do you have anger? I could have been right there. Or avoidance. Okay. We'll get there. So your Enneagram is anger. You could be penting up some anger here, you know? You could be penting up some anger and that it's seeping from you one way or the other, either towards your loved ones that you're comfortable with, or in you dropping something or not doing something or leaving people altogether or something. I don't know. But you do have the anger here, Enneagram anger, under the category of avoidance. Instead of avoiding the real issue, you do something. Let's see. So the keywords are losing control, annoying, pleasure, mistaking, impulsiveness, as well as personal desires. It makes sense. When you are a powerful person who constantly doesn't respond back with this power and choosing constant kindness instead, of course there will be anger. So pent up anger here. Okay, that's one aspect that is very interesting that we're learning about here. It's gonna come together in a moment. So there is a lot of pent up anger here. Okay, let's continue. How about we take the blind spot? That is gonna help us a lot. So we're gonna look at the sigil first, read it intuitively, and then we'll look at the guidebook. Can I say this enough? I love the guidebook of this oracle. It's by Teal Swan. Like I always say, I know she's a controversial figure, but we can be open-minded about taking the amazing things from everyone, really, and dropping the rest. Learning from the amazing things and dropping what we don't like. So this looks to me like a figure, doesn't it? Head, shoulders, arms. So there looks like a figure here with some form of hat, or that's the head, that's the yeah. They're playing a guitar because the arms and the finger, it looks like there's a rod here, and kind of looks like they're going dun, 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 if you know what I mean, dun, 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 going like this. And something's being recorded as they're playing this music, do 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 do, and something's rolling, being recorded, and it's printing on a CD or whatever they're called in the past, these big black CDs. How can I forget their names? I just did. It is what it is, but you know what I mean. Something is recording here. So why are we getting that? You could be a musician, but the blind spot. Oh, hold up. There's a blind spot here about melancholy. Every time you pull at the strings of your heart through a story that sounds beautiful to your ears, perhaps to justify what you're going through, Victimization is what this is saying, in my opinion. And you record this symphony that you like listening to because it doesn't make you feel bad about the pent up anger of not responding. This keeps being recorded and played out to you. And now all you hear is that story that you've tell yourself in order maybe not to feel the shame, or perhaps to try in your way to soothe the anger that you're feeling. But I am seeing something about playing out a symphony that makes you feel good. And that could be could have been a great protection that your mind has created to protect you. It could have been great at some point. The mind is brilliant, especially you're brilliant. And so that could have soothed your heart for a very long time, because what you've gone through was rough, right? So this is not like, don't shame yourself for anything. And that was brilliant of your mind to make sure it protects you in this way for the longest time. But at the same time, it's creating blockages of anger that's not released at all. And you may not even be aware that there's anger being stored in your body. Yeah, instead of it coming out, you soothe yourself, because there's soothing here. You soothe yourself to keep the strength in place. You don't want to use the strength, maybe because you're threatened of more bullying, more ideas. And so you've created a lullaby that makes you feel better. But the consequences are pent up anger, whether you realize it or not. This is not a professional, I'm not an expert in any way. Always consult an expert. This is just a tarot reading. Okay, so let's read what the blind spot here shows us. Sigil number 73. Yeah, it's a blind spot. Even I missed it. Shapeshifter, this is who you are. I told you guys. Okay. If you have drawn this sigil, you want the truth of yourself, and potentially the truth of the situation at hand, to exist in your own blind spot and or other people's blind spots permanently. Like, you want to notice this always. It's like you want to. This is why I've got the Two of Wands. Is the card of seeing something. Pay attention to it. You do not want the truth to be seen by you or them. Yeah, remember when I was wondering why you got this is something so visible to others? Yeah, maybe you try to hide it, but look at the transparency. Everyone can see it though. You try to hide it, but everyone can see it. So you do not want that truth to be seen by you or them. Yeah, not by you and not by others. But the irony here is that it is very visible to both of you, to you and others. You could consider this sigil to be the master of blind spots. My God, wow. Because even if you are consulting this deck, the truth is you want to maintain blind spots in yourself and or others. Yeah, part of you still doesn't want to bring it to the surface. But remember, shadow is only integrated when you bring it to the surface and see it and face it. And so, yeah. You may say you want to see yourself and you want to be seen by others. But the part that is currently in control of your thoughts, words, and actions does not want either. Very interesting. Your motive for using this deck is to not see the truth in this situation and not to see the truth of yourself. You are so used to being able to get yourself and other people to focus on whatever you want yourself or them to focus on. instead of whatever you don't want yourself or them to see and focus on. Very, very interesting. That you were hoping this deck would play right into that strategy. Your hope was that you would draw a sigil that would act as a diversion of what you don't want to focus on about yourself. This reading is definitely is like you're gonna see this. Your reading today is like you're gonna see this. Shocking, but that's the beginning of absolute healing. It's like you've seen your shadow clear for the first time, super clear, as shocking as it is. And instead of whatever you don't want, where were we? You are so used to being able to see yourself and other people focus on whatever you want or them to focus on instead of whatever you don't want yourself or them to see and focus on, that you were hoping this deck would play right into the strategy. Your hope was that you would draw a sigil that would act as a diversion for what you don't want to focus on about yourself, or that you would draw a sigil that would get people to focus on their own blind spots instead of yours. You feel it is in your best interests to have others focusing on their shortcomings, which you could be right. I mean, you could be saying, oh, it's because these people do this and these people do that. And while this is true, it does not negate the fact that your side is also true. I mean, what you want to focus on and what we're looking at is also true. You feel it is in your best interest to have others focusing on their shortcomings, blind spots, ignorance, and problems instead of on yours. Two things can be true at the same time. That's my part. It's not written here. But anyways, if you the two things can be true at the same time. Right. If you have drawn this sigil, think back to the character Mystique from the X-Men series. Think about both the power and level of safety this character holds. This is what you actually want. To you, when something is clearly seen, it no longer has control, and you can no longer tell yourself that an unsavory truth may not be the truth. Didn't I tell you guys that with the guitar? Right? It's the same message. It can't be a coincidence. The potential can always stay open that the truth is something much more comfortable for your ego. Exactly what we saw here. You enjoy not having to be pinned down by truth, especially in this situation here. So you choose confusion. You may be creating confusion in other people so you can deflect the focus back onto them and make them doubt themselves and their own sanity. You are probably gaslighting people as well. That could be without you noticing. If you have drawn this card, you hate the solid nature of truth in that particular situation. You think that when other people know the truth, it will give them the upper hand. Yeah, maybe you're afraid of the Five of Swords here. It's like if people find out, they'll use this Five of Swords energy. That's what you're protecting, I think. As it applies to yourself, you hate when all of you knows the truth about yourself because you feel that the part of you, the internal moderator, which is self-shaming, self-abusing, that's the Five of Swords. You've carried on this voice in your own mind. Voice that's not true. A voice that's full of limiting beliefs of a specific person or specific people. Internal moderator, which is self-shaming and self-abusive and keeps you on a short leash and demands difficult change, will now have the truth it needs to convict you and force you under its control. When other people know the truth and when you know the truth about yourself, it feels like a death sentence to you. That's why you've got the seeing card here. This person is about to get into the studio, the television studio, where the whole world's about to see them. And there's something about, no, anything but that. Don't see that. If you have drawn the sigil, you may enjoy being able to turn into whatever you want whenever it suits you, and to convince others and potentially even yourself that you actually are that thing. You may be a skilled social actor, the ultimate chameleon. Your attitude might be that you don't care how you get something as long as you get it. You may want to get away with things and never be found. You are so good at stuffing yourself into your own blind spot and living your life inside other people's blind spots that you may have even fooled yourself. You may be letting go of your sense of self and the truth of self in a way that has nothing to do with the practice of transcending beyond selfhood, but rather letting go of your identity or the truth of yourself of a situation in order to manipulate someone, maybe even yourself. So let's look at the solution here. If you have drawn the sigil, what you don't see is that when people ask you a question or when you ask yourself a question, you are not looking to answer with the truth. You are looking to answer in whatever way provides you the greatest personal benefits at that time. Chances are you are so good at doing this. If you do answer truthfully, it is only after you have decided that doing so gives you the greatest personal benefit at that time, such as answering truthfully at that time will make them see me as a good and trustworthy person, which is what I want right now. This is a very interesting perspective. You are either playing a game of pure strategy in this situation, or your life is a game of strategy. You alter yourself and your strategy the minute that the external situation changes. There is nothing solid about you. You have drawn the sigil because, in order to create the life you want, you need to accept that strategy is something that people with a solid self concept may employ. But it is not a life to have a self that is inherently pure strategy. Whether you see it or not, if your very self is mutating due to strategy, you never have a solid grasp on your conscious. This means you will look back at your life having hurt yourself and a lot of people along with you. You got what you wanted. The question is, at what cost? If you have drawn the sigil, you have got to see the value of truth and the value of solidity and the value of a defined self. What don't you want to see about yourself? What don't you want others to see about you? Why are you so terrified of the truth? What truth are you so terrified of? What are you the most afraid of being true about you? What are you the most afraid of others seeing as the truth about you? And just so you know, they're already seeing it. Wow, this was so deep. This must be one of the most interesting readings ever. Okay, so let me turn on the light and let's conquer this together. There we go. I got you. I love you. And I'm going to help you with this fully today. Right. So you've got the dragon. Do you see that? Your reading keeps showing you that you do have power. Dragon, lioness. There's something about sleeping power, right? Sleeping power. That's another thing that you may or not be seeing. A dragon, someone who's very strong, acting like they're not strong in order to avoid pain, but you are strong. And so, because you don't know about your power and buying peace, you have lost your way in seeing and learning how to use your power. Right? It's like a dragon who has been encaged and hasn't learned to fly, but is a dragon. A lot of taming is here. So the point is, you haven't learned. That's the thing. You haven't learned how to use your power because of so much taming. Oh. Oh. It's like powerful lioness kept in the zoo for so long that she forgot that she is the queen of the forest. She's the queen of the forest. She's the dragon, but um, hasn't used it, and so doesn't know how to use it. Okay, brilliant. We got somewhere amazing here, and it looks like your power of alchemy, which is what you're good at. Remember, we were talking about how brilliant you are in transforming, and there's the two dragons here. There's something about you having dragon energy. Can you believe this? Having dragon energy in the first place. So you got the energy. You're a manifester, someone who knows how to alchemize everything, and that's the thing that's going to be helping you, and we'll find out how in a moment, but we're just putting everything together, right? Finally, let's see what you've got here. You are worthy. You are worth it all, my love. That's so sweet. Oh. You are worth it all, my love. Okay. Oh, you're gonna get there. You are a dragon. Right. Let's now see, with all of the pieces that we have here, how, with all of this understanding, how you are going to alchemize, because here's the power. What you're going to get as guidance here, anyone can apply. It could take them lifetimes to apply it. But the thing about you is that you're naturally into alchemizing. That's who you are. And I think you recognizing the truth, first of all, and not being afraid anymore, looking at the truth boldly, like the strong person that you are. Yes, that's the truth, and I shouldn't be ashamed of it. And yeah, I think the more you allow others to see it, rather than hide it and them seeing it anyways, and to stand in that power and go, yeah, things like, I don't know how to deal with the situation, or uh, yeah, I don't know how to deal, like being okay that you don't know how to deal with, like, for example, rudeness or that sort of bullying. Being like, it's not saying don't do anything about it, of course not. It's just saying don't be ashamed if you don't know how to deal with this bullying. It's okay. It's okay not to know, and it's okay to be perplexed. It's okay not. How are you going to learn? So this is saying be okay with appearing as who you really are. That's fine. Don't be ashamed of it, and that's the most important thing. The more you, it's all about the seeing. There's something about not hiding it anymore. It's basically not hiding. It will automatically alchemize it for you, because you don't even need to worry about that part, which we would have created a whole spread for someone else. Basically, your alchemy here, which is going to work automatically, is just allowing your true self to be seen. Even your guidebook was talking about this. It was like, it wasn't giving guidance just like every other card. It was like, just gotta see it. You gotta let everyone see it. That's like the biggest blind spot card. It's so blind. The power comes in you acknowledging it. Even your card is the Two of Wands. Everyone, the healing, the alchemizing comes with you seeing it and allowing the whole world. Da 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 da. I know. Healing isn't pretty, but you take it bit by bit. I mean, obviously, you don't have to go on television and go, that's who I am. Right? But little by little, maybe you just gotta be okay with being vulnerable, being okay with who you are. Like, it's okay. Nobody knows how to do everything. Nobody knows how to be powerful in everything. Nobody. It's okay to not know. And the more you are not ashamed of it and going, yeah, that's who I am, that's what I do. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with situations like that. Being perplexed in the situation, not knowing what to do by time will get you in touch with your inner power to do something about the situation. Like the dragon has to fall a few times or many, many, many times. The lioness needs to go back and start like learning how to catch a prey or being with her group until she gets in touch with her instinct. And that's exactly the same thing. You're very blessed that you're a dragon. You're very blessed that you are a dragon in energy. The dragon needs to acknowledge that it doesn't know how to fly or bring out its fire. It's not going to hide it forever, right? And so it needs to go until it learns how to bring out that fire, until it learns how to fly high, because it's a dragon. It's bound to happen. And so it's the shame that's not making you practice your power, that was tamed a long time ago, which we've noticed here. Maybe it's the bullying that tamed it, or maybe it's the contrast, as we've noticed, that tamed it. Whatever it is, the past is in the past. The future is what's the present moment, and your potential is what is important. This allows to heal some anger that you have no idea about, or maybe you do know about. And this anger, what is it doing, this anger? Why is it apparent? We didn't focus too much on it. Strength. It makes you, I was right in the beginning, it makes you angry, because I saw a lot of softness here, but it definitely makes you, it doesn't make you smooth in your power. Like, it doesn't give you the grace when you are practicing your power. It makes you angry. Like when you want to take your power, you do it with so much rage and so much anger that's pinned up that you struggle. You have to struggle to get your rights back or power back. Well, it could be gently, calmly, and lovingly always there with you, because you're the dragon. And so the more you let others see the truth, that anger goes away, because it releases. That anger releases. Maybe the anger from the bullying, the pain from the bullying, the anger, yeah, of not being able to fight back that you held is what feeds into the shame, maybe. And it's hurting your worth. There's a lot of shame here. And it's affecting your self-worth in some way. And you are worthy of standing in your power, because you're a dragon. If you're not going to stand in your power, who the hell is going to stand in their power? Are you kidding me? So to regain your power, you got to look at that, and you got to be okay with it, and with no shame, start. And it's not like you're reprogramming your mind. You got to acknowledge what's not right in order to make what's right right. So you have to acknowledge first that you don't that you have a spelling problem, and that's not programming yourself that you have a spelling problem, in order to fix it and have great spelling. But as long as you're not acknowledging it, that's not going to fix it. And it's in the same way. You got to acknowledge the weakness. Is not programming, it's just acknowledging the situation that you didn't create, but it's there. You're empowered to heal it. And by observing it, simply, like, the rest is history for you. The rest is just going to happen for you. You're a powerful person who just gets things done. And so by standing in your power of acknowledging what you were always ashamed of acknowledging, you will find that the training just happens and the solutions just happen normally. You find your power back little by little. And you become your powerful self. Let's reverse it. It's already reversed. It's perfect. You become gracefully strong. And yeah, my dear pile number 3, this is exactly what I see in your reading. There's a lot of anger that is affecting your shame and is affecting your worth. And that anger will be released. It's like the connecting point, this anger. It gives you your power when you're angry, but it's blocking your real power from just being there all the time. And while it may be useful when you're angry, it's all of the time taking your power from you. Did you know that? And so, how do you release this anger? You just got to acknowledge it. It will automatically go away. There's nothing to be angry about anymore. You're not going to shame yourself for not responding or not doing this or not doing that because you don't know how to do it. And that's okay. And you're going to take your time to get into your dragon power. You're going to be able to learn. And before you know it, that will be alchemized. And as you always do, achieve your dream. It just needs to be seen, my dear pile number 3. And this is exactly what I see in your reading. My heart is with you. You're my dragon. You're going to do it. I love you so much. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Love you guys very much. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.